how important is a 4-star paper?
Well, obviously it is important because that's what is, again, being measured by the ref, and effectively your research has to be 3-star or ideally 4-star to be counted. But obviously it's also important that we all want to write research that has that kind of significance and importance anyway, and originality and significance and rigor, which are the 3 values they're kind of looking for in those 4-star.
It's very much important, provided you could publish this material, because if you work with companies, it's not always you have ability to publish straight away results you are getting, simply because you work with a lot of confidential materials. Any other researchers looking in this area, they will be looking first through the top published papers, into 4-star papers, into publications in 4 stars. As a result, while we are looking into this, the number of citations of your work will increase in the sources everyone knows and will look first. If you publish in the papers of 1 or 2-star paper, they haven't been looked by professionals as much as 4-star. You may have really good piece of work in 1-star paper, but you may not get in-depth review of your paper. As a result, your audience will be significantly shrinked in comparison with 4-star papers. And the number of references and citations on your paper will be significantly lower than 4-star papers, simply not because your work was not good, simply because the audience of these journals is significantly smaller than 4-star papers.
How can we publish 4-star paper?
Always through high quality research, regardless what you're doing. Make sure.
Any parameters to follow?
Well, it's when you look for the papers, like any papers, they have really very much the same parameters for review. You will be looking on literature review adequate, if it's adequate or not, correct, fresh references, objective, subjective references. You will be looking on how well is defined methodology. You will be looking one key issue is novelty. So is anyone else was covering this, if we were covering what aspects you cover that will be bringing you novelty. You need to literally explicitly explain what is novel in your research and it's coming up. After that, we're speaking about your experimental and methodological approach. Is it technically sound? And one major element which a lot of people try to miss, or in the lower star papers, is comparison. Is your comparison of your techniques is adequate with anyone else? If it's adequate, how well is performing against others?
I mean, there are certain kind of tricks, as it were, to it, in that you make it clear why your paper, your research is important, why it's significant, why it's original. You look at what you write in the abstract, you look at what you write in your introduction, you look at what you write at the end of your conclusion. Is it reinforcing the fact that I've got this originality, significance and rigor? But I think the other key thing is you want to get other people, peers in your area, to read your work.
Creativity is not by a mechanical rules. You cannot follow rules. You can follow a rule algorithmically and achieve something. But that doesn't make you a creative person or an innovative person. A good scientific work is all about creativity and innovation.